Hello everyone, and we are going to be looking at the disturbance in the Gulf and if it could lead impacts to the US. However, before we could get into the forecast, be sure to subscribe to the channel if you are new and turn on posts and notifications so you won't miss a single upload or live stream. Right now, we are currently looking at the 5-day graphical tropical weather outlook. As you can see, we have disturbance 1 in the Atlantic, a 30% chance of a cyclone formation in 5 days. This may form or may not form depending on how the conditions will favor, but a really big uncertainty of how this is going to form and where it's going to form. That's why they have that circle with no X. They'd have no idea where this is currently at, so that's why they have that highlighted right in that type of area, so that's where it will form. Current sea surface temperature anomalies, we have around 31 Celsius to 30 Celsius. That's around 90 degrees in this type of area, so some very warm waters here that'll definitely favor conditions for this possible tropical cyclone. But once we get into the Gulf up here, we do have some cooler waters from the hurricane that did move through there. A couple of days ago, around a week ago, we did have a hurricane go through that type of area, so it did cool down the waters a little bit. We are starting to see around 26 Celsius, so that's below 80 degrees Fahrenheit here. And over on the East Coast, we still do have some cooler waters dipping down into here. So definitely some cooler waters up here. We still do have some very warm waters in the more southern part of the Gulf. Now, first, we're looking at the icon model for this tropical disturbance. We get to it around, let's go to around October 2nd, and you can really see this low pressure form right up the coast of Mexico. We move on here to around October 4th, and you're really starting to see this strengthen here just off the coast of Mexico. And it's going to kind of stall here. That's why they have that area highlighted. They don't really know where it's going to go after it stalls. So it's kind of far out, but you get to around October 5th. It strengthens a little bit to around 1,002 millibars. Kind of weakens a bit to, and still stays around 1,002 millibars, and it kind of stalls there in that Caribbean area. So, and we really don't know where it's gonna go after that. Most model guidance shows it's gonna go around this type of area, or it may just kind of stall here. But most likely, if it does decide to head towards the US, it's most likely gonna go either over here, around the Florida area, most likely around this type of area, or even up the East Coast. It could even go kind of something like this, but really don't know. It's kind of far out right now. But once time does move on, we'll really keep an eye on this and get an in-depth look of where this is going to go and what the peak intensity may be. Now, the GFS model is pretty interesting with this. It's not showing it will kind of head towards the US. However, this low pressure will form. Let's go to around October 1st, and you can kind of see that low pressure making an appearance right off the coast of the southern part of Mexico. And you head into around October 2nd, and you really can't see it until it's kind of right there. There is not a low pressure appearing, but it is kind of right there. Looks kind of actually a decent tropical cyclone. And we get to around October 3rd, and that low pressure appears once again, goes over Mexico, and then it appears right over here. We still have to do some very warm water, so that may strengthen if it is kind of over the water around this type of area, but it does still show over the Mexico area. And then we get to around October 6th, and that appears right off the other coast of Mexico, and it appears pretty strengthened. As you can see there, it makes landfall, and then a bunch of other lows, and we also do have a low pressure coming off the coast of America, and right up there you can see that low pressure. So that's around October 9th. So we may see a tropical disturbance coming off the coast of America right there, but really that's kind of far out. That's around 252 hours from now, so that's pretty far out to really know if that will form or not. But really big uncertainty with this disturbance, like I said before. So we really don't know where this is going to go or what this is going to strengthen to. Really just something we need to keep an eye on. But anyways, if you did enjoy the forecast, be sure to subscribe to the channel if you are new and turn on post notifications so you won't miss a single upload or live stream. Also, make sure to share this video with any friends or family that may need some information on the latest tropics and how and if they may be affected by this tropical disturbance. But anyways, stay safe.